Here we are at the shop. Made me up some parts on Corel Draw. That's just a motor stand mount. And those are for the cooling system I made for a brushless motor. I don't know how well it'll work, but you know, I want to hit 200 with the Fun Jet, and probably going to end up over amping a motor, which means motor will get hot. So I made this. You can see that piece of wood on there with the pattern traced on. And that's the parts that I made off the paper with the aluminum tubes. So the plan here is we'll cool that motor off before I take off, and then I'll set it up on a servo for a butane can. So when the butane comes out, it turns this all frosty, gets it down to like 32 degrees. So and that'll plug in there, and then I'll mix it with the throttle. As I get to full throttle, it'll be full bore on, and half throttle and under, I'll just have it so it's off the butane can, and might put it on a switch so I can turn the switch on and shoot it a couple times while it's coasting. You know, mount this in here, cut this tray out, it's just in there, it's not any support, the rib there support. Just kind of put it in there at an angle, have it run down here, have it exhaust past the motor so don't go through it and ignite to the sparks. So that's the plan. I got the motor down to 32 degrees with this little can, and was maintaining temperature. So we'll get some video of that testing on there if you guys want to see it. But yeah, I was just testing it with this little temp gauge, you know. So that's what I'm working on right now. Kind of messed up the prototype. I got it stuck in the damn sander and it sanded that edge off, and I decided, well, it's only a prototype, I'll live with it. So that's about it. Comes right out. Don't weigh nothing, a few grams. And those are just antenna tubes, heated and bended. And I used an air hose too while I did it. Kind of hooked it to it and bent them, heat them up a little and bend them, and then blow air in there at the same time. Had a few bad ones. I popped them, shooting the air in, and pow! Pop little holes in them. So yeah, that's that. That's pretty much these drawings I did on Corel. You know, it's all the same size. Just cut that out, the outer circle out, and then I glued it onto a piece of aluminum. Then I went around with this little tool, little punch, push on it, and boom, makes a little dent so your holes go right where you want them when you start drilling. Cut this out with a jeweler's saw. Drilled all these, cut the circle out, and then I drilled all these holes, and then I came around with a jewelry saw, and I put the part inside there, and then I cut all the way around this circle with that saw. So that's that. The prototype, we'll see. Maybe I could double up these little braces here and get a little more heat sink value out of the aluminum, being that it don't weigh nothing. I think the can weighs more than that does. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. I want to put some amps to the motor more than it can handle, so the only reason it can't handle the amps, I believe, is the heat buildup. So if I can keep the heat down, I should be able to put more amps to it. Just going for a speed run. It's nothing that's going to keep the motor cool a whole flight. just for a couple passes, keep it down so it's not burning the wires. So that's what I'm working on. And we're going to get the F-16 flying. Gonna start working on that next week. Got everything on order, battery, motor, EDF, and I got the speed control already, so we're gonna get that baby going. That's like 100+ mile an hour little EDF. Pretty fun. So I'll catch you next time here in the shop. Still working.